Good afternoon and welcome to the 116th Botany Bay Championship, coming to you live from the spectacular waters of Botany Bay. I'm Jimmy Bury, and wherever you're joining us from, it's great to have your company. Joining me in commentary are Andrew Dolly Davola and Jack Andrew. Gentlemen, how are we today?
Afternoon, Jimmy. Good afternoon, Jack. Thanks for joining us today, Jack, down in your home turf.
Absolutely.
Pretty good day.
Yeah, absolute pleasure to be here. Yeah, wind is looking better than expected.
Yeah, so right now, folks, we've got a southeast an hour ago, but it was very hot and humid and not a lot of breeze, but we've had a bit of a sou'easter fill in, which has cooled things down slightly. Right now we've probably got about 10, 12 knots, so we've got boats with the big rig in, a bit of a mix of second and big jib. A lot of boats have two jibs for the big rig, if you weren't aware. And as always, down here in the river in particular, but also out in the bay, big tidal influence on sailing down here. And we've got an outgoing tide, pretty decent tide of 1.7, going down to a 0.4. So be interesting to see. A bit of local knowledge certainly helps down here, doesn't it, Jack?
So I've been told. Never really experienced it myself, but yeah.
I reckon you know it as good as anyone. And those of us who've been regular visitors down here have learnt. I learnt a bit down here in 60 years, Jack. But yeah, there's some tricky sandbars, and they tend to move around a bit as well. Remember last time we were down here for the national championships, there was a few sandbars where people didn't expect them to be. So, but no, we've got a great fleet of 23 13-foot skiffs and 46 16-foot skiffs from all over the state. Good mix of talent. So great to see a big 13-foot skiff fleet down here for the Botany Bay Championship, and we're racing for the Stewart
Challenge Shield.
Yeah, and you've got a bit of history for us, Jack.
Yeah, so the Stewart Challenge Shield, donated in 1908 by Alexander Stewart and the Stewart family, and hopefully there's some of the Stewart family still follow us the sailing, and hopefully they're watching on live. But yeah, originally sailed for, in the first couple of years here at St George, by the 14-foot skiffs. And then when the 14s sort of died out a bit, the 16s took over in the early 1920s. So, 116 times, this is 116th time, I should say. And, for the vast majority of that has been in the 16s. But it's amazing, for anyone who hasn't seen, I think you guys touched on it last week on the Manly live stream, the actual trophy, the Stewart Challenge Shield, is probably one of the most beautiful trophies you ever want to see. It's phenomenally well designed, put together and maintained trophy. So it's on display proudly in the foyer of St George Sailing Club. So, but there's been a lot of amazing sailors who have sailed in this race and won this race, and there's a lot of amazing sailors who never got to win it. But yeah, just some of the famous names that have saluted the finishers, including Kenny Beashall, Kenny Minter, Huey Trahan, Greg Hyde, Dougie Reid, Don Barnett, Bill O'Hayward, of course, and Trevor Barnabas, Dave Mackay, and the list goes on. So it's a who's who of Australian skiff sailing right there.
It certainly is, yeah. There's some pretty famous names on that trophy, and if you are ever visiting the beautiful club down here at St George, there's some fantastic memorabilia in the club, which is a great thing that they've done. When the new club was built, a lot of this history was preserved and restored, and is proudly on display. So, but yeah, certainly some pretty famous names that I grew up sailing with and before and since. So Greg Hyde, you mentioned there, who I was lucky enough to sail with, and I had dinner with last night. So and I was telling him I was coming down here, and unfortunately he's not really up to travelling down here these days, but certainly one of the greats of 16-foot skiff sailing, and a great mate.
Certainly is, and but it was a legend back in the day of the sailing. I remember coming up through the skiffs and seeing him when he competed in Los Angeles in the
Olympics. Yep.
and then to see him jump into a skiff, it just blew my mind that I could compete against someone of that quality. So, shout out to Heidi if you're watching. So.
Yeah, and Jimmy just prompted me, which was something I was going to fit in today anyway. So we lost a great of 16s, and particularly for me, who was a long-time sailor at Middle Harbour Skiff Club and grew up sailing there before I moved over to Manly. Unfortunately, we lost Ian Revy Green this week, who probably sailed 16-foot skiffs as long as anyone. He spent a long career. He was sailing 16-footers when I was a young bloke and was still sailing them up to, maybe 10 years ago, Jimmy, 8 years ago?
I even think as close as 5 years ago. Dole, like he was like one of the absolute true champions. Like crossing the road at Middle Harbour today, obviously where we keep the boat, and talking with a couple of the guys when he used to be the conditioning coach for the 3rd grade rugby.
Yep.
After all you motley crew couldn't be pried away from the bar at Middle Harbour Yacht Club, Revy decided one way to get you guys moving was to sign you up as 3rd grade rats to get you out of the bar and get you fit and conditioned for sailing. So, Revy was one of those true, genuine nice guys of sailing no matter what. My last couple of words were with him. I'm over the rubbish him and Craig Nichols were talking about compression socks and all the rest 2 Wednesdays ago at Middle Harbour Yacht Club, and I said, I'm over the rubbish that you talk, Revy, I'll catch you later. And it sort of burns me a little bit that was my last words to such a great man. But
no, great fella, and sailed for a very long time, and then in these more recent years owned a yacht with Trev Kennedy, so they were affectionately known to us all as Revy and Trevi. But he'll be sorely missed by all that knew him, and great sailor, but absolute champion bloke. People do pass and people say nice things about them, but Revy was just a genuinely nice bloke, always up for a laugh, always a smile on his face. So I know there'll be a lot of skiff sailors watching this stream today who knew Rev and will miss him, and keep your eyes out on the Middle Harbour Skiff Club
Facebook
page, because there's going to be some announcements in the coming days. There will be a celebration of Revy's life. So cheers to you, Revy.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But back to the sailing down here for today. Breeze it's looking promising, and I think what we're thinking a southeast course is the most likely course for today. We'll be starting down by the bridge at the St George 16-foot Skiff Sailing Club, and then heading down up into Woolooware Bay. And then we'll be, when we've got the course confirmed, we'll run through it, but we'll be going out into the main bay. Chids has brought us up for us. Going to run us through it, Jimmy or Jack?
Jack can do it, because
we're already up to Brighton the second time. So basically, come out of the river, down to Brighton, up to Bonner Point, which is near Kurnell, back to Brighton, back to Bonner Point, back into St George with a little dog leg at the finish to make things interesting. So it's an interesting course tactically because of the tides. And here we are on screen. We've got our sponsor ferry today. So
sponsors and life members, there they all are.
So no doubt there'll be plenty of stories told on that today.
A lot of truth, I'm sure.
Middle Harbour President Peter Tinworth up on the top deck there.
The white hat. Looks like a great way to spend a Saturday.
Yeah, they might have better food than us.
I think that bread roll was pretty good.
Did the trick.
Yeah.
But a couple of spectator boats out here too, which is good to see. So there's a bit of a variety of ribs and a couple of cruisers and stuff coming out to have a look. And as always, down in Botany Bay, a whole bunch of jet skis. I don't think they're watching the skiffs though, are they?
No. I'm pretty sure they would be.
Watching out how many
they won't be watching where they're going.
They're very keen to have a good close look at the skiffs most weeks. And they really get in there to have a close look. So hopefully have no incidents or anything like that. But usually it's all pretty good. But yeah, this breeze is looking very good. I think this first work's going to be interesting. You've probably got about a 0.6, maybe 0.7 nautical mile to the first mark, and with 46 boats on the start line, that's going to make it nice and interesting coming out of Woolooware that first time. So port hand at the first mark. So yeah, it'll be a matter of you get a nice clean start, get that first shift, and hopefully clear out from there.
Outgoing tide, Jack, you'd be looking to get over towards those moorings, would you?
Yeah, so the traditional sort of consensus is, you've got to tack straight after the start, get back to the right and get into the channel that goes up around the middle flat to get that tide taking you up into Woolooware Bay. But, it only takes one shift out of the east and the guys on the left can still come out on top. So, but yeah, look, probably 75% of the time it pays to go right. So
I'm glad we're in agreement.
Well, I left myself a little bit of an out clause there for the if someone from the left wins, but so Bosca build on screen there. They'll be hoping for a better start today than they had last Saturday. So last Saturday down at St George here, we did a bit of a practice run for local boats, and Bosca, under the starters' watchful gaze of a black flag as well. So
sneaky,
and Keegan was adamant he was behind the line on the Bosca. Sarah and Kurt might have disagreed, but they...
Unlike Keegan.
Yeah, but they sailed the whole course and, then found out they were black flagged at the end of the race. So,
so I would think that them being a local boat here and the recently crowned national champions, always going quick, I'll put the commentator's curse on them for today. I think they'll certainly be one to watch. And these conditions should suit. Other boat probably to watch today I would think would be Zoe Dransfield in the Red Pumps Red.
They snuck out last night for a quick little sail over at Manly. So.
A little shakedown, did they? Yep.
Yeah, because Huey Stoddard needs a bit more fitness training.
Yep.
So I was going to say my tip would be the shade to water. The main reason, Tommy Burton, I've got to say they're my tip because I'm on the handicapping committee and I've got them as the scratch boat.
Okay.
So there we go. That's on the basis of their performances at the States and also the Nationals. So, but Bosca and also Zoe very closely handicapped there as well.
What are they on roughly, mate?
So shade to water on 1% or 1.00. Bosca's on 0.995 and I think Zoe's on 0.975.
Right.
Off the top of my head.
Yep.
So.
And prizes besides the prestigious trophy, we got prize money for this event?
I believe so. I couldn't, to be honest.
Not sure?
So not sure entirely, but I know there's good prize money on it. There always is.
I thought there would have been, yeah. But it's another local St George boat, the Wishart Pacific.
So Wishart Pacific's something steered today by Lachlan Steele. So
from the 18-footers.
Yeah, so Lachlan sort of sailed 16s down here for a long time, and then the last couple of years ago decided to sort of the 2 days a week was getting a bit tough. So it's good to see him back for a guest appearance every now and then.
So on with Luca Damick and Andreas Martin. The Queens of Buckingham on the right of screen there. Today, Sophie Hart is steering with Annika Mount Stevens, and I can't really find the name for you. I've got Tira Jansen on here, but it's not Tira Jansen.
It's
another young Australian sailing girl.
I was going to say they've really gone it's almost the princesses of Buckingham, the age group that's on it today.
Today, yeah. So they're our all-female 16-foot skiff team from Manly. Sponsored by Buckingham Marine, Woolwich. Barnabas Building, IME. There, also always one to watch with Joel Beechel, Trent Barnabas and Rob Napper, a very, very sharp team on board there. They'll be hoping maybe they're the current state champions. They'll be hoping for maybe a little bit of a build in the breeze.
Yeah. Some of the other favourites you got probably not on screen at the moment, but Imagine Signage, or is that? Imagine Signage. So Nathan Wilmont, he's got a change of crew in today as well. He's got Simon Hoffman, the Hoff, and Kurt Hansen on the boat today.
Yes. Yep. Kurt Hansen in the bow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Kurt is normally skippering the Modern Concept Constructions. Another 49er campaigner.
Ooh. Just off camera, we've got our first capsize of the day under Spinnaker.
Oops.
So, just probably not part of their game plan for their pre-start ritual.
I don't know, it's pretty hot. They might just be cooling down. Just behind the start boat there, Buck and Simple. So that's Tom Cameron with Pete Jansen, but I know Tim Lees is away today. Who have we got? No? Yeah. I know Tim Lees is away doing the Adams 10 Championships. Rivcon from Belmont just went across screen. Jess Rivers.
Coats from Belmont. They're a boat that have got the potential to go well in conditions like this as well. They probably hadn't had the best of years by their standards. I mean, they did well at Port Hunter Regatta early in the season, but yeah, that'd be the other bit of a dark horse.
Yeah, good team with Darby Jones, Gilzo, Adam Gilson, and young Taj Walters. Hello, Matty Walters. You're probably watching.
There's the Ferguson's 13-foot skiff from Middle Harbour with Isabella Primrose and Hugo Butterworth on board. So I think maybe their first year in the 13s, so a bit of a learning curve, but they're getting there, and it's good to see the numbers of 13s are really increasing at Middle Harbour 16-foot skiff club.
Definitely. All across the state. I think, Belmont this year at the Nationals having the fleet we had up there, 33 13s from memory. But yeah, it's amazing to see them. But even here at St George, we've got the fleet building. We've got 3 boats on the water today, plus one of our crews is sailing one of the Manly boats.
How good.
So that's hopefully those guys will jump into a 13 next year as well, so that we'll have 4 racing. You get that critical mass, and next thing you know, the racing's good, and you end up with 10, 12, 15 boats, and just grows from there.
Yeah, the last couple of years we've seen a really healthy increase in numbers and quality standard of the sailors, which is just fantastic. And all those youth sailors, or at least a good percentage of them, hopefully will step up into the 16. In the last few years, we've seen a huge number of sailors step up into the 16s, and we've got a lot of 16-year-old kids, 17, 18-year-old kids sailing the 16s now.
Yeah,
after just a couple of years' experience in the 13. So very healthy, and with great support from the clubs. So if you've got kids junior sailing and they're looking for the next thing to step into, 13-foot skiff is a really, really good option. Fun boats, easy to maintain, well supported by the clubs, and quality racing. Kitchen Maker 13 on screen there, Taylor Lees. Very strong team who've been performing exceptionally well in the last season.
And there's another boat on screen there, Fire Stopping, just going through. Don't know who their sponsor is, but
good sponsor. Yeah, well, there's proof in the pudding right there on the Fire Stopping. Like, I know I keep blowing my own trumpet about that boat, but there's Heidi Bates and Orlando Sadlick on board there today from the 13s. Stepping up. They've started to now wanting to take on some of these regattas, and it's great to see. It's an opportunity to hand that boat off to another bunch of young kids to have an opportunity to step up. It's what it's all about. It's good to see that they're coming through, and the one I'm waiting to see step up next would be probably young Ash Napper.
Yeah,
and have that 3 Napper combination of Kobe in the middle, who towers over me, Robbie up the bow, and Tiny little Ash down the back. I think that'll be a formidable boat to chase down.
They will be a good team, that's for sure. Yeah.
Definitely. No, it's like you said, Jimmy, it's the community aspect of the skiff movement, and whether it's the 13s, the 16s, or any of the other skiff class, I think the community that pays it forward, the experience of the young kids coming through and help them out, I think that's the key thing with this sort of fleet.
Pretty scary to think that you and I sailed the fire stopping together 20 years ago, Jimmy.
Yeah, Dole was only like yesterday.
Only 20 years ago.
Pretty poorly built boat by
well, she's still going strong.
Yeah. That was Geelong, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was, yeah.
That was a good regatta that year.
Seems like yesterday, Jack.
It does.
Jimmy and I haven't aged a day.
What are you saying I have? Thanks, mate.
Yeah, the age difference between us hasn't changed one bit. So 4 minutes to go to the start of the 116th running of the Botany Bay Championship. So,
South-East course.
People.
Yep.
South-East course, yep. We snuck back and had a look at that. And on the, today is also the St George Sponsors Day, so we'll try and give a bit of love to some of the St George boats because all their sponsors are out there on board that spectator boat with all the life members.
Well, there's one on screen now, MTM signage.
Yep.
So they were previously Infinity Rigging. And then, MTM's come to the party and, the boys have really taken off and, the boat looks great.
A new young company, MTM signage.
Yep.
Ryan Wilmot.
Correct.
And his new wife, Johanna. So thank you to them for, and I think they're really enjoying that side of being a sponsor too. Ryan was in the park this morning having a chat to the team. I saw Kieran Humphreys from Bosca.
How could you miss him?
He was on the top deck of the sponsors boat enjoying some refreshments.
Yeah, shout out to Spesh and his old man Doc Humphreys.
Doc come down?
He Doc's here, yep.
Oh, look, there they are. Pete Tinworth on the left. I think Spesh and the crew are over on the right-hand side of the shot there. Great day to be out.
Sean Lilly, Mark Bromlow up there.
Yep. A couple of our long-term Manly volunteers who give a lot back to skiff sailing. Been involved with the club for a long, long time. Fantastic.
I think it was in Sean's vows, wasn't it, when he married into the Cook family that you will commit to skiff sailing for the rest of your life.
Before Huey accepted his son-in-law proposal.
Yeah.
Minute 45 to go now. Still a few boats mingling around quite a long way from the line up near the bridge.
Yeah, the tide will take them down there quite quick. So I'd say these boats that are sort of, you look where sort of, you just see, I think, Bosca there on screen. I think they'll probably end up sort of 3/4 of the way down the line by the time the start goes.
And some of these 13s that are above the line, I don't know that they know what's just about to happen to them.
I'll find out pretty quick.
Like crossing Pitt Street, they'll be dodging 16s.
With a blindfold on.
So down the pin end, looks like we've got red pumps red towards the pin then down there. Buckingham Marine. Buckingham being sailed today by Georgia Clancy rather than the normal crew. Georgia's got Jared Smith and Felix Prince on board. We've got Barnabas at the boat end. As I said, Bosca going to be 2/3 to a third of the way down the line.
A lot of them sort of standing back. We're coming up to 30 seconds to go. Tide sweeping them down the line rather than over it, which is a good thing. Hopefully we can get away clean. It's that, I think, shade to water right down to the pin end there, is it, Jack?
Yep. Yeah, right on the pin.
So Tom Burton looking to own the pin end.
So they obviously heard our pre-race spiel about going right and said, we'll go left.
Yeah. What would he know?
It's a fair call.
Oh, we're starting to get rumbling now. Here we go.
I'm going to call that clear.
Yep, no flags up on the boat, so we're away.
Looks like down the pin end there, Botany Access went back around, so not sure what's going on there.
Whether they got squeezed out maybe, or
might have ended up under the pin maybe.
yeah.
We're under a picket line of 13s trying to get off and racing here with the 16s. So here we go.
So we've had a bunch of boats on to port. Canberra Airport out on port early and going to our side, Jack.
Yeah, so they did listen. But look, yeah, like I said, I think there's probably just a bit of an easterly shift there at the end of that sequence, and yeah, you can get that early tack in and be pointing straight up into Woolooware.
Yeah. There's Barnabas building. But yeah, just up to windward of them, we've got off the map Canberra Airport, and then further up, top of your screen there, you could see red pumps, red shade to water.
And that'd be Imagine signage.
Without any signage.
Without any signage. Brand new main, and he said to me this morning that,
Scotty's wait time's too long.
Well, yeah, I think he said he's good, but he's not that good. So.
Yeah, that's an odd one. Imagine signage hasn't got any signage. Thanks, guys. Canberra Airport looking like they're getting through the water really, really nicely.
Very nicely.
Yeah. So they've stepped out from Red Pumps Red. Red Pumps Red look like they got off the start pretty well. Imagine nicely placed as well off Red Pumps Red's hip. And then, as mentioned, Tom Burton in shade to water just stepped out a little to windward of them as well. So they look like our sort of lead 4 and 5. Canberra Airport, Red Pumps, shade to order, and Imagine signage, I think.
Yeah. So we have a little situation here on the, I don't know whether you see it, on the right of the course. A few boats going inside
the channel marker.
The channel marker, which is actually a prohibited area. So I wonder whether any other competitors will notice that and suggest a protest is in order. But, yep, Bosca is quite buried as well.
Yeah, a bit deep.
Yeah.
There we are looking down on Canberra Airport. They are looking very good getting out to this right-hand side. They were above the aforementioned channel marker, and they will get over to these moorings. They're also not allowed to sail inside the moorings, but they should be able to tack onto a ley line.
Yeah, they'll make the ley line easy from there. Actually, Zoe, the Red Pumps Red looking quite nice at the moment. They're just lifted up a little bit. I think, yeah, Canberra probably still lead, but...
Yeah, Canberra will cross Red Pumps, I think. Let's Imagine signage with the black mainsail just off the hip of Red Pumps Red. Imagine couldn't live there and they've tacked off. A little bit surprising. They only had sort of 100 metres to get to the ley line, but Canberra Airport has tacked at the moorings and will not lay the top mark. They've got another couple of tacks to do. So I suspect Nathan Wilmot could see that was going to happen, so he's decided he'd get his tack done early while he had a clear lane.
So shade to water looking quite good as well. Just, I think once again we're probably going in a bit of a left phase at the moment. A couple of the, actually one of the local boats won't be totally up, but TTR looking good out the left.
They are. They're coming back nicely on port tack. They're probably in probably in the top 10 anyway, just. Eric Storage also from Middle Harbour, they're in the mix.
Okay. So this second half of the work is actually sort of mix things up a bit, and probably 2 minutes after the start, Canberra looked like they cleaned out a bit, but now a few boats have started to come back into it.
Yeah, boats coming in from the left have done all right, and boats further back are very high on port now, so they've got a little bit of a shift, but as they move up the bay forward, I think they're going to head. Canberra just managed to cross in front of Shade to Water. So they'll come back with starboard advantage over Imagine Signage, and Red Pumps are just going to squeak across in front, and now they're going to attack. So it's Imagine Signage who've managed to sneak a little tack inside and lee bow the main group, and they will lead into this top mark. Tight lay.
And this next leg, Dole, is a really interesting leg because it's a definite kite out of the top here, but then it tightens right up and it'll be mainsail and jib for a large portion of it. So knowing when to get your kite off is a critical thing, and a little bit of luck involved too is when you get the breeze. But
Red Pump's red squeezed out there of the top mark.
Yeah, didn't lay.
No.
That was expensive. Good effort, TTR Civil around in third, with Eric Storage fourth, Shade to Order, MTM. Great effort from Jess Rivers in Rivcon with her brother Kai on the sheet. Jacob in the bow.
It's Tribeca just going around the mark there, off just behind Rivcon. It's another local boat sponsor, Dave Arwood, who sells MGs down here, sponsors that boat.
Geochemical Assessments having to, they must have hit that mark. They're doing a penalty turn.
Ooh, Imey is going to struggle as well.
They've missed out as well.
Catching a few boats out, this top mark placement.
Certainly is. Darby Jones in Coates just got around behind Dan Bromelo in Bartley Constructions, and we had Buckingham Marine Services, Georgia Clancy, then the Sutec team, and then we did put the curse on Bosca,
we didn't put the curse. There's no we in you, Dolly.
I'm throwing you blokes under the bus. Now, interestingly, Jack, as you mentioned, that with the when to hold and when to fold, the lead boat set their kites and ran down deep, and the rest of the fleet are two sail reaching.
Yeah, so Canberra Airport and Imagine have dropped their kite now, and they're coming back up. But but the thing is, these boats that have reached up high, you get a bit of a wind shadow up here under the shore, and you quite often find like where Canberra and Imagine are being out in the tide, they might get that bit of breeze and they'll come out looking pretty good.
Yeah, they've got max tide flow taking them up the bay.
Yeah,
they're in the deepest part of the channel and they'll have more pressure. The rest of the fleet, you can just see the channel marker there now off the sand point. And that channel marker, as I mentioned before, this bar tends to move around a bit. Boats went around that channel marker at the Nationals 2 years ago and still ran aground. So
yeah, and if you're running aground in there, it's actually quite nasty because where the former oyster leases were, so
it's pretty crunchy.
When you hit. So Red Pump's red going for a kite.
In saying that, Jack, I'm literally just waiting for our turn to find a hole in this group to get around this.
The camera cat waiting for a gap, Jimmy.
I think this is our gap here. If Tribeca go for a spinnaker, that'll help me out a lot.
You want me to tell them to put it up? I'll open the window. Get your chute up.
Yeah, give Cam a bit of advice.
Yeah. Cam McDonald in his bucket hat there. Bit of a trademark. We've had Eric Storage probably leading, but higher than Canberra Airport and Imagine Signage. So they're further higher on the track. But right now, it looks like Canberra Airport and Imagine with a little bit more pressure are starting to push through.
And just off camera, the boats who did just set a short time ago have had to drop again. So yeah, it's that bit of luck of getting the breeze when you're lucky, when you need it, and not getting it when you don't. So I'd say at the moment, Eric Storage is actually the boat that's going to be leading.
Yeah, they're pretty much straight line with Canberra Airport and Imagine Signage. Imagine Signage being down course a little, have got a nice bit of pressure right now.
And there's the chasing pack coming after them.
Dare I say the peloton?
Well, you can call them that if you like, Jack.
Didn't know you spoke French.
Is that for the frog that's on the sponsor's boat that I've seen?
So that's Eric Storage.
So there's a line of 4 there: Eric Storage, Canberra Airport, Imagine Signage, and Sale Media Camera Cat.
That's us looking the other way from the camera cat.
Got out in a bit deeper water.
Yeah, max current out where these two closer boats are, so you can see the separation there. So the two leeward boats out in the channel, I'll be getting probably a, what do you reckon, Jack, 1.5 knot advantage?
Yeah. 1.2 to 1.5 usually.
But Eric's holding their own and slowly managing to soak down to these two, so they've done well. Eric Storage with Scotty Cotton, they're a bit of a renowned lighter air specialist.
Yeah, well, they've got, according to the entry list, they had Harry Lawson down to be steering today. So I'm not sure where Scotty is, but
I did see Harry in the park.
Yeah,
so
that makes sense.
That makes sense.
Yep. Of course, Harry, of course, steered the boat for a few years, a couple of seasons back.
Oh, and my list, you're correct, my list has been corrected. So, yeah, Harry Lawson with Nathan Edwards and Alex Leslie. And Canberra Airport just managed to push forward now. Regular crew on there of Archie Cropley, Max Paul and Jack Hildebrand.
Yeah, they've pushed forward nicely too, and this will be affecting Imagine Signage, I'd say now.
Yeah, putting a bit of a gas back onto them.
Yeah. So the mark they're heading to is pretty much directly in line with where they're aiming at the moment, so there's not a lot you can do tactically in that sort of situation.
And for the viewers at home, the 13s have started, but for us to be able to stay with 16s, we're not going to get a lot of coverage of the 13s today, so apologies in advance for that. We will try our best when we do cross paths with them to bring them into the stream, but I think there was a 10-minute gap or something between the two starts, wasn't there, Jack?
Yeah, there was 10 minutes gap, so... Yeah, MTM on screen with Tommy Dawson, Bryce Edwards, and I've got a mental blank, Jerome Watts, I believe, in the bow.
Giving chase to Shade to Water. They're just in Shade to Water's, directly in Shade to Water's line there. So
they had a great Belmont sprints a couple of weeks back. They made the final, and I think did they get second after all that? I think they might have.
I think they might have, yeah.
Yeah.
We weren't there for that one, unfortunately. And notably, so that's looking at our top 6 boats, and just behind them is Jess Rivers in the Rivcon from Belmont. Right now they're a handicap special, Jack.
I was just about to say that'd be my tip if there's any bookies listening. If I can chuck 50 on, but I don't think I can have the bet when I'm on the handicapper, can I?
You can't even give advice if you read the...
The Gaming Commission's tuned in. Yep. But yeah, Jess Rivers with Kai Rivers and Jacob West. From Belmont via Gosford. Excellent second leg from those guys. Great to see.
Another 3.
There they are.
St George boats just behind those 3.
Yeah, they've got, after Rivcon, we've got Tribeca off the map and Bosca. So Bosca's still within striking distance.
They've made up a lot of ground on that leg. So they've done well.
Once again, when they get to this next mark, it's still it's going to be probably a tight run still. Oh, sorry, southwest course. Yeah, it's still going to be reasonably tight to get down towards Brighton.
So yeah, left turn at this next rounding mark.
Yeah, just a slight left turn. It's more a passing mark than anything.
Yeah. Bit of shallow water off to the left there too, isn't there, Jack?
A lot of shallow water off to the left.
Yeah.
Turned one of my spinnaker poles into a yabby pump there once or twice.
Yeah. Lead group has stepped out nicely. Yeah, if they do get a kite up here, well, I think they will, but it's going to be a pretty tight tight leg, and once again they'll probably put it up and have to take it down again.
It's part of the beauty of this race. It actually challenges the normal procedures of a whip and leeward course. You sort of have to have a different sort of skill set at times.
With a little bit of a looser angle coming into this mark, we've seen Eric Storage, TTR Civil and Shade the Water roll down onto Canberra Airport. So we'll have Eric Storage will be first round the mark here.
Mr. Tinworth on the sponsors boat will be happy.
Be very happy.
There they go. They're going to go straight for a kite.
Let's see what TTR do here. The local knowledge.
Boys. Yeah.
Well, local via Lake Illawarra, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't know that I would have been putting that kite up straight away, Jack. I don't know what you think.
I thought I've seen the lead boat heading down.
Oh, there's
more to the left.
I see. Yep.
Yeah,
and I can see the mark down there too. Yeah, you're right, Jimmy. I thought the mark was going to be further up the bay than that.
Yeah, it's supposed to be, but
that's where I explained it to.
On the course map, it was.
Yeah, and that's where I explained it to young Mitch when I said where we're going today. So
TTR have now set the kite. Eric Storage are well underlaid right now, but as they get down, it'll probably get a bit softer. They are starting to lift up a bit now. So I would expect Canberra Airport and MTM, who haven't set yet, should be getting... Here they go now. They're bearing away and setting now.
Yeah.
Probably given a bit of ground away there, haven't they, Jack?
Yeah, potentially. I think the boats who are set early will get a little bit of tide assistance to lift them up to the mark as well.
True. Yeah, nice little advantage picked up by Eric Storage there. They are going to be underlaid, but they're putting distance on the chasing pack, and will be able to then drop and two-sail reach up to the mark if they have to.
Yeah, I think I think they'll go close to laying it.
Yeah, they're kind of coming bow up now, aren't they?
Yeah.
And as you say, that current is going to help.
And as we say that, they get a gust and up on their rear.
So the two boats to weather of them, TTR and Shade the Water, they're able to sail flat, and they're probably going faster through the water. Eric's are up on their rear and not going quite as quick. Flat boat's a fast boat. Eric's probably not too far off dropping, maybe 50 metres. Here we go. Now, as they drop, we're going to see TTR in particular really close up some ground here as they're two-sail reaching. So, still pretty tight at the top here.
Yeah, it's only going to be a matter of seconds in it.
TTR probably dropped a little bit earlier there, and Shade the Water with the spinnaker chute have left it till the very last second and come right in up on their tail.
Yeah, so TTR, shout out to Todd Lindsay from TTR Civil. Hopefully he's on the sponsored boat today.
The other thing I've just sort of noticed looking around is the breeze is a lot less out here on the bay than what it was in the river. Is that just because of the tide, Jack, down this way? I don't know.
Yeah, mate, I don't know either.
It's definitely a bit softer here right now.
Tinny has replied to you, Jack. At least they have the right spinnaker on today down here.
Yes.
Now, they usually put the big kite on the small rig, so you don't want to put the small kite on the big rig. So Canberra Airport were around fourth with MTM signage, then Imagine signage with no signage. And then
we got Rivcon.
Rivcon, yeah.
Rivcon will be next in.
Yes, Rivers.
And then off the map with Marshall Day from Belmont steering today.
Yep, very talented young fella.
Yeah, normally sails the Skelcon. Bosca behind them. Yep. Got to go back a fair way to Red Pumps Red, Zoe Dransfield, who looked good early on that off the start.
They did.
And then just that top mark
missed the top mark was really expensive, yeah. There they are on screen. Zoe Dransfield with Hugh Stoddart and Jamie Stoddart. Close behind them is Daniel Turner's Buckingham Marine, today being sailed by Georgia Clancy, his cousin.
I understand the reason for that was that George's boat's in the shed, and it was a bit easier to sail Ruffy's boat. It was already in a trailer.
On a trailer, okay.
Yeah.
Yep. And Ruffy has a day off.
Yep.
The orange spinnaker you can see there is Darby Jones in coats.
So the course from here, basically, we've got effectively two windward lewards. They're big windward lewards. They're long legs. They're probably 2.5, 2.6 nautical miles. So we'll test their tactical nous with both the breeze and the tide out here.
Breeze, to me, Jack, has gone left.
Correct. Yeah, I agree.
So that'll make it a very long port leg up the bay.
I think potentially that might be why the course layers did move this mark. It's a little bit further to the west than it normally would be.
Yeah.
For the southwest, I should say. So yeah, I'll give them the credit for that if that's the case.
So and you're the local, Jack, for my mind, this breeze is in the east out in the bay?
Yes.
Yeah. So breeze is southeast we had down at St George, and now we're out in the bay. The breeze has rotated quite a bit around to the left and pretty much an easterly. So everyone at the moment's come around that bottom mark, their starboard leg over towards the airport, and then they will have a long port tack up to the top of the course. So you want to get over the left. If this breeze continues to rotate left, you don't want to get caught out. And
so, interesting thing, when all the models were sort of showing the breeze was going to be heading right throughout the day. So, with I suppose a bit of extra heat around this morning, a fair bit of haze as well. It wouldn't surprise me even if we get a storm later in the day.
Yeah, there is a possibility of a thunderstorm, but we should be well and truly done by then.
Bit of a cloud mass starting to form out to the west.
That was my first time in a 16 championship down here back in 91, thereabouts. And that cloud formation down there, we all had big rigs on, and I remember out of control, whack.
Yep.
We hit someone else, we ripped the little bumpkin back then, the little bowsprit off.
Yeah, back in the days of double luff kites. Yep.
Yeah, double luff kites, and that was my baptism and love of the river, and I just went, wow, this place is mean.
Can bite.
Oh, it can bite you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So first boat to tack off is Imagine Signage. So the first sort of 5 boats are sort of still heading out to the left. And Imagine sort of decided to sort of play the middle. There they are on screen.
And the boats heading out to the left, Jack, they're predominantly, would they be pushing towards that runway because of Cooks River to try and get that tidal flow?
Yeah, you get a combination of the tidal flow to Cooks River, but also too tide going around the shoreline of the bay and then lifting up along the airstrip.
It's a bit of a wrap on, yeah. We've seen Eric Storage of now. They're the lead boat and the first boat to tack of the left-hand group. Expect the following pack of TTR Civil Shade to Water, Canberra Airport and MTM signage to follow suit. But looking at Eric Storage coming back on port tack now, they look pretty bow down. Looks like a little oscillation in the breeze. So the breeze had gone hard left and it's taken a little tick back. Just looking back at Imagine Signage to see if they were still lifting, but they're not. So they're bowed down as well. Be interesting to see if TTR Civil, the local boat, decide to continue to push further left and hope that breeze oscillates back again.
And there's a little bit of there can be a bit of a fallacy at times as far as local boats knowing what to do in this race, because this is not the waters we actually sail on week to week at the club. This is it's a once a year thing usually for us as well. So yeah, it's a bit of a level playing field.
Yeah, Eric's have tacked back now, so they've had enough of that header they decided to get back, and especially with their opposition getting out to their left. So pretty smart sailing there from Harry Lawson, not letting his opposition get too far off his hip.
It's a tough one, isn't it, Dole? You've got a gold medalist on Shade to Water going left, and you've got a gold medalist on Imagine Signage going right, and you're the bloke in the middle going, which one do I cover?
Also, too, the guy that's going right has got 4 Botany Bay Championships under his belt already, 4 of them in a row a couple of years back. So
That always helps.
yeah, I think for 3 different clubs in 4 different boats. It's a good record.
So yeah, they're all by themselves out on the right-hand side as Imagine Signage.
Yeah, the mid-pack is heading right as well. Off camera, there's Off the Map's gone with them.
Coates as well, I think. Is the other one.
So they'll be banking on that max flow coming out of the Georges River to push them up, and hoping for a bit of shift as well. If this breeze goes back to the southeast on that side of the bay, they could do all right. Someone's going to be right and someone's going to be wrong, or they could come back together and be even Stevens, right?
Both wrong.
Not both right.
No. Every debrief I ever had with my old man when we were sailing, it was always, how badly did you do something wrong?
God, you must have copped it.
Oh, yeah.
Off the old man,
all the time.
and then Baz in the morning.
Yep.
Wow. No wonder you gave it away and just went to casual sailing in the MGs, Jack.
Funnily enough, I haven't done anything wrong since.
Funny that.
You never miss a shift on the camera cat, mate.
Well, that's the
I'll
other
tell
thing.
you that much. That's TTR. They've flopped off away from that lead group and just getting themselves out. Probably while they've got a bit of clear air. If they kept going, they were going to get some dirty air. Sailing the boat really well, though. They're doing well, the boys. Yep, they're looking good. And then you'll see the rest of the lead pack just off their hip. And they've all tacked now onto port as well. So that's Eric Storage, Harry Lawson, with Tom Burton not far behind him in Shade to Water, and Archie Cropley in Canberra Airport. Canberra Airport managed to close up a bit of ground in that last little exchange back in the game. That's Shade to Water on the right-hand side. Now, they're a pretty big... They're swinging a bit of weight on the wire. I was talking to the boys this morning, and they did say they'd shed a couple of kilos recently.
As a percentage of the overall weight, but what would that represent, you reckon?
Well, you know, Tommy's he's done his best to lose weight, especially before the Nationals, because as we've seen, a real swing in the class to lightweight skippers. Big advantage to have as much weight on the wire as you can and as light a skipper as you can. So, and we're seeing this big influx of girls doing really well. So, not only are they good sailors, but they're light.
Yeah.
So, I would never insinuate that Sarah's winning the Nationals because she's light. She's sailing exceptionally well.
I think the key thing is a good light sailor will beat a good heavy sailor.
Yeah.
On the back of the 16 anyway.
There's Archie, Max and Jack. As I say, they've made a little gain on Canberra Airport in the last couple of minutes. Just pushing forward. And notably, they're 3 strings, and I'm seeing the Shade to Water boys just... You just saw then, Scotty...
3 strings or 2
3
strings?
strings.
2 strings.
I was sick of the same. Where are we today, Dole?
Canberra holding 2 strings constantly, and Scotty Beebe on Shade to Water having to just bend his legs every now and then and get a little bit of weight inboard. I get my skiffs mixed up, so, you know, we'll go 3 strings tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah.
So a dramatic amount of separation at the moment in the fleet across. You've got Imagine Signage hard right. even if we put them on camera, you wouldn't be able to see them. They're just a blip in the background. So it's, at the moment, it's not looking great for them, I wouldn't say.
This lead 8, 9 boats have absolutely streeted the rest of the fleet. So Rivcon a little bit behind this lead pack of, I think, 6 boats. And then we've got a big gap. So probably the next boats would be Bosca and Sutek, who are still heading over towards the runway, soon to tack. But this lead group have really separated from the main fleet.
Yeah, they've probably got a couple of minutes on the likes of Bosca.
Well, to put it in perspective, the last 16-foot skiff has just gone around that mark.
Yeah.
What beach was that, Jack, that we just came from?
Ramsgate.
It's Ramsgate, yeah.
Ramsgate. So, like...
So they're,
that's a fair distance.
Probably a good 10 minutes behind already.
Yeah. And, I'd hate to know what the distance is. I know I think it's 12 mile, isn't it, from the head to the club or something along those lines. We're about halfway.
Now, I think I've got eyes. Is that our mark up there, Jack?
It'll be a yellow mark off the... Sure, it's towards the right end of the sand line.
There's a mark up that end, but I don't know if that's it.
So the other feature of sailing down here is there's a number of sailing clubs on the bay that sail and have sometimes similar marks. Like I said, we did a practice around the bay race last week, and a couple of boats and a couple of fleets went around the wrong mark.
Yeah, that's the one I was pointing at, Jimmy. There's an orange mark over there that the yachts are using, and I think our mark's to the left.
Yeah, just under that comms tower there at Cornell.
Yeah.
So the boats you see on screen, they're probably probably got another at least 5-6 minutes on starboard, maybe 10 minutes on starboard after they get up to the lay.
Long way up the bay here. That's our leader, Harry Lawson, skippering the Eric Storage. Doing well, but this is really their ideal condition. So they didn't win one at the Nationals this year, but pretty much I think the 3 years before that they've won a Nationals heat in this condition.
I was going to say go back even longer than that probably. They're always there or thereabouts in these conditions, and they always usually jag one. Jag's probably not the nicest word, but yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of you, Jack. Jack.
I think if you do it regularly, you're not jagging it anymore.
Right, okay. Yeah, that's true. But good to see Harry Lawson back. He's been over in WA, I think.
Has he? Okay.
MTM signage down to leeward. And in between them is just out of shots TTR Civil.
So the boats who did go right are coming back, and they're not looking great.
Not good.
So they're off camera to the right and a fair way down.
So it's really these 3 boats, Canberra Airport and Shade to Water, is the leading pack, and the rest have really been dropped off. Like it's those boats over near the airport, including Bosca, are still at the airport, like at the end of the runway. So it's we're probably halfway across the bay.
Yeah.
And, unfortunately,
they're
off.
minutes behind.
Yeah.
So I think the key thing with this race is, buddy, just as you think that someone's not a chance of getting back into it, with such long legs, you can get that separation, and they can get back into it pretty quickly if this pack goes the wrong way. If they sail into a hole, the following pack brings breeze down to them, anything can happen.
Endeavour 26 fleet out here, mate. You don't see too many of them racing these days.
That's the Intergalactics happening today.
Oh, it's a championship, isn't it?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, this top mark's a long way up, isn't it?
Yeah. So still probably another, 15 minutes to the top mark.
Yeah. A few more tacks.
And for the viewers at home, if you're wondering why we're basically on the main camera at the moment, main camera only, is, as you can hear probably in the microphone, that bigger bird going over the top. We are right under the departure of Sydney Airport runways, so sort of becomes a no-fly zone for drones. So we will do our best to get our drones up when we're back out of harm's way and bring you some multi-angle attack shots there.
One just went over, so I could almost count the rivets in the fuselage.
Yeah. So, it's not worth risking our licence for what we do, and not only that, the controllers pretty much say self-lock on them so that you can't take off, and that the average Joe can't just come down here and go, I'm going to go fly a drone and film planes. So
I reckon the passengers would be pretty happy too.
I was about to say, yeah. You've heard of bird strike? What about drone strike? Hang on, that's a different thing.
And that's Canberra Airport there on screen, not Sydney Airport. So,
speaking of airports,
yeah, maybe that's where that plane was off to.
So there's Canberra, and back in the distance behind them you can see a really big separation. One of them I can't tell, Coates is down there. Imagine signage.
That one to the right of the screen there, that's Imey.
It is, I thought it might have been Jimmy. Yeah. Thanks, mate.
And then to the left of them is off the map, and then just to the right is Coates. When we get around a little bit further, there's Coates.
Yep. Darby Jones. But yeah, come back now behind this lead pack. Imagine signage has come back to their line on starboard tack, and he's given away quite a bit of time, quite a bit of distance. One boat who's come back out of the sort of mid-ride okay is MTM signage. So it's still in the mix.
Well, they were one of the first, if you remember Eric's stories, they tacked, they weren't on a good one, they went back, found another line and legged it with everyone, and everyone was pretty much so on that same line, which is, it's a bit hard to overtake when you're all on the same line.
Yeah, so MTM just crossed behind Canberra Airport. So they're probably fourth right now.
Yeah, they will cross in front of Shade to water.
Yep. So Eric Storage leading. It'll be close between TTR Civil and Canberra Airport for second and third. Then we'll have MTM and Shade to Water. Shade to Water doing well to hang in on that leg, because they did look a little bit underpowered, undergunned.
And there's the inclement weather pattern forming in the background of that shot. What's the colour like, Dole? Any good?
Yeah, it's the light.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'd have to ask Chits about the light for photos. It could make for some good photos later, I think.
Yeah. I think if we're talking in cricket terms, I'd be getting the groundsman to get the covers ready.
Good images, I think I've got to say. But that cloud is really starting to bubble up out there, and that'll have an influence on the breeze too. So watch this space. We've still got a fair bit of racing to go yet.
Well, we're not even halfway through it.
No, we've got to come all the way back up here again. So, Jimmy hates it when I steal his pen.
You got one down in the side pocket,
too.
Dole.
Thanks,
remember,
mate.
I found you one.
You did. No, I've got one, Michael. Thank you.
I think I found it at reception at the 18 footers, mate, and just brought it back to the boat for you.
So there's MTM. They've got back up into the mix. They're probably in third or fourth place right now. And it was looking like it was getting a little bit light up here, but we've just had a little pulse is starting to fill in, isn't it, Jack?
Yeah, yeah.
A couple of little gusts coming through.
in the background of that shot, like way in the background, maybe if you've got like a 190-inch TV or something, you would have seen the 13-footers. There they are. So and that's way down the other end of the bay.
So the key thing with that, Jimmy, is the 13s only come up to this mark once. So they don't have to come up here twice like the 16s do.
Just getting word through from the start boat, they're going to shorten at Sandringham's mark storm activity.
Right.
Yep, that makes sense.
So,
yeah, doesn't cut a lot of the course out of that. But yeah, just a little dog leg at the end of they cutting out at this stage. But watch this space. They might shorten it earlier if they think it's a real issue.
Well, I'll be watching the radar and just seeing how quickly it's coming towards us, I'm sure. The boats have got to get back to St George either way.
Correct, yeah.
we've got to get back to Sydney Harbour, so from our point of view, we may be stand by to wait for it to blow over and then go.
You need to get back to Sydney Harbour, Jimmy.
Yeah,
well, you need me back there too, Dole, because you need me there for tomorrow.
Okay, so probably just a couple of minutes now from the top mark. Eric's still leading.
It's MTM tacking back onto starboard to get across to this ley line.
I think MTM's actually closed in a bit on the first two.
Yeah. Yeah, they've done well. And look, they've hooked onto a nice little bit of... I just mentioned there's some puffs coming through here, and they've just hooked onto one of those gusts, which is probably why they tacked. Once again, they've crossed in front of Canberra Airport, so they'll be a clear third right now. Canberra Airport just lamping a cover on Shade to Water. Cop that.
I think MTM's... Ooh, MTM crossing. Lee bow by the Erics on MTM.
We are starboard or a port rounding here, Jack?
That's a good question. We are starboard rounding.
Which is why they have tacked there. That's why I asked. Okay. So advantage MTM because they will be inside and should be able to get a tack. Erics won't be able to tack until MTM did, but actually Erics has just stepped out a little, but nonetheless MTM will tack inside and have mark room. So change of lead, folks.
Well,
and don't rule out Canberra Airport just rolling in here, Dole.
Coming in from the right-hand side. Lots of discussions going on between the crews.
Well, they've given them room and they've got a round before, so Canberra Airport just trying to give them a bit of a fright, I think.
So MTM, Erics, and then Canberra Airport.
Pretty tight.
Yep. Been sailing about 43 minutes and they're about 4.3 seconds apart.
Oh, cracking set on Canberra Airport.
Yeah, the young 49er guys, they're very good at getting that at their manoeuvres. Very, very good.
All right, which side would you go down this run?
Well, tide's an issue, so I think they'll probably hold this one until it gets a little bit soft and then jibe out.
I think I tend to agree with you. I think with the storm activity as well.
Yep.
Head towards it.
So Shade to Water, then TTR Civil next around.
We'll start trying to meander back through most of this field because or else we'll be able to put the kettle on and wait up here for quite some time. So...
Gee, big loss to Imagine signage. So now we've got 5 boats have really stepped out. 4 boats, 5 boats, yeah.
So Shade to Water has been the first boat to jibe out on the starboard. Head back towards the airport.
That's Imagine still coming to windward on the right of picture. Shade Water have jibed on a nice little vein of pressure actually, and looking back, I said those guys should jibe before they run out of air, but they've run out of air, Jack.
They've jibed just after they did.
Maybe should have just gone a little bit earlier.
Yeah, Shade Water's definitely looking the most powered up at the moment.
We will have, just before we get out of view, so I can just let you know where the other boats are positioned, we will have Imagine signage will be next around, followed by Rivcon, Off the Map, Coates, Red Pumps Red and Bosca. But barring a big change in breeze direction or something funky happening, I can't see any of that chasing pack now catching up to these guys. Even though we're only halfway through the race, they've got a pretty substantial lead. There's MTM, Canberra Airport to windward of them.
That's a great shot.
Eric Storage just lost a bit of ground in this last exchange, so they've gone from the lead, just given quite a bit of distance away to MTM and Canberra.
Off the back of that, like, we haven't seen much weed, but it's known for weed down here, so it's worth probably just checking your foils in that situation. Costs you really not much, especially when you're going off a breeze.
Yeah, definitely. Like, especially nowadays with so many of the skippers being so light. You know, they've all had plenty of practice at the Nationals when they got the weed up there the first few days.
It was interesting watching the socials on the weed deflectors that they were designing. There seemed to be a lot more effort went into that than training actually for the Nationals.
The weed whackers.
Yeah, we fashioned a few up in the boat park. It was like a little craft activity.
How'd you go, Dolly?
Yeah, not bad. It's amazing what you can fashion up out of a pool noodle, a spare tiller extension and some duct tape. So yeah, Eric's on screen there now. They've just lost a little bit of ground, maybe 75 metres to MTM and Canberra. So for my mind, MTM probably leading at the moment, but we won't know how they all shape up until Shade to Water come back to them. I'm a little bit surprised by old saying, never leave your wingman. Halfway through a race, I don't think I would have left my opposition like that. I've done it before, and that's why I don't do it anymore.
I was about to say, you'd do it again.
You learn that lesson. But Tommy Burton was obviously confident that there's going to be some breeze filling in from that right-hand side of the course. And until we get down to the bottom, we won't know. So just very top of screen.
Yeah, they look quite good early with that pressure, but they almost look like they're in a bit of a hole now.
Yeah, so MTM, front of screen there. Canberra Airport just to windward. And that's a camera cat to win. That's us to windward. So I reckon we're equal first at the moment, Jack.
I reckon we're going to have the best VFG in a sec.
You read that shift well, Jimmy.
Well, I just want our share of the $35,000 in prize money that's on offer today, Dol.
Oh, we're wondering, so that's the deal, is it? Is that total prize money?
Total prize money for today across both fleets, but across the 16s and 13s, $35,000, which is pretty...
It's not bad.
Awesome amount of coin to be throwing at a regatta, or a championship, I should say.
Shortly you're going to see a couple of bit of traffic for Canberra Airport. There's just a yacht coming upwind, and then there's a spectator vessel in front of them.
Don't know who that is, Jack.
I have no idea who that is.
No.
If I could, I'd tell my old man to get out of the way.
Well, you're related to everyone down here, so... Canberra Airport just starting to get a little push on here. So they are out to windward, but they are starting to roll through on MTM. But I'd put them down as equal first at the moment. we're just going to go down course a little and see if we can have a look at what's going on in the 13-foot skiffs for our 13-footer fans out there and followers.
Botany scaffold there on screen.
Oh, Levi Windust.
He's got a little
below.
commanding lead.
Yeah, it looks to. There's a couple of boats further over on the runway. There's a lot of separation. I think there's one boat there who is probably definitely in the mix. I can see Taylor Lees in the Kitchen Maker is also doing reasonably well.
Yeah, they seem to have actually hit that airstrip a bit harder than the 16s did. So,
Yeah, most definitely.
Well, the hard thing too, I'm just looking at the 13s, is Buck and Simple and is that the Kitchen Maker or Harkin?
That's Harkin with
Harkin.
the Kitchen Maker
And Harkin
Buck-
coming straight at
and
us.
Bucket and Simple, but there's another one out on our far right with your fantastic vision that you've got. I'd be hoping it's the Sail Media, Jimmy, but I'm not quite sure. It's not
No,
Sail Media.
I think
There they are on screen, and even on the monitor I can't tell who that is.
number 58, so it's Red Pumps Red by memory, isn't it?
Pumps Manly,
Red Pumps Manly.
Gemma Hopkins. The Botany Access was actually the one we spoke about earlier, so Harrison Thomas.
Well, he's been 2 weeks in a row sailing the Botany Access 16-foot skiff, so good on him. And jumping back in to have a go at this.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to cross these guys. Oh, it's going to be close. I think Red Pumps Manly, Gemma Hopkins is probably our leader.
But one thing I have noticed with the 13s, they don't have a lead boat.
No.
So that's very hard for them.
Got to follow the 16s.
Well, they can only follow them so long because they're doing a shorter course, so if they keep following them, they'll be in trouble.
One interesting. Oh, they're back down again now. Botany Scaff was on a really good lift. Oh, they're back up again now. And it is definitely going to be close, folks, between Botany Scaffold and Red Pumps Manly. Imagine and Bigfoot. They're probably in about 6th and 7th. We'll go back to the 16 action. Otherwise we're going to lose touch with them. We had to go quite a way off course to bring you that vision of the 13s.
The one that I didn't see in the 13s was Buckingham. They here today? Or?
Buckingham's actually not here today.
So what's our snapper steering? Has it seen him around?
I don't know whether he's just down here supporting his old man on the...
He did, no, he had his sailing gear with him.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think he needs to learn that much off his old man that he has to come to these regattas, mate. Maybe he's coaching his old man.
That's probably better. When I say supporting, yeah.
Now, it looks to me like Canberra Airport are on a very tight lay here. They're pushing to get up, and MTM signage are just putting the hammer down. Yeah, Canberra Airport definitely struggling to lay this next mark. They're trying to push up. Meanwhile, MTM signage are able to sail flat and fast, as are Eric Storage. But as we suspected earlier, shade to water, that jibe back was expensive, wasn't it, Jack?
Yeah, as I said earlier, they look good. They looked good early when they first jibed, had a bit of pressure. But then, not much after that. So they've probably dropped back to 5th now.
Yeah, most definitely.
So
TTR Civil in 4th.
I think MTM hasn't spotted the mark because they're actually lowered the mark slightly as well. So
I think they've set the mark dead off our bow, Jimmy.
Yeah.
So no,
I'm looking at this one up here, so that's probably the one Canberra Airport's looking at as well.
I'm a bit surprised Canberra Airport's pushing for height the way they are, because for my mind they're laying the mark quite easily.
Yeah, well, that is the mark, 100%.
Yeah.
I think they're aim and hazed.
Once again, tide in this instance, the tide's not going to help them. They're going to push them down.
True. But they look like they're on a pretty easy lay to me, Jack.
Well, they are now. They flatten the boat out a bit now. And you only got to get a couple of those light ones, and you do climb a fair bit, don't you? And with that, MGM's actually just pushed forward on them quite a bit.
Yeah, I think by the time they come together, it's going to be very, very tight. So just looking at Archie, Max and Jack there on Canberra Airport. Eric's just poking their head out there now. There they are. And the white spinnaker you can see in the background off Canberra's Leach is TTR Civil in 4th spot. Shade to Water have managed to jibe onto a nice puff, which might bring them back into it a little bit, but they did give away a lot of ground early on there.
Yeah, well, that's probably given away a good 30 to 45 seconds.
Eric's just having to negotiate their way through the aero fleet.
They'll be used to that from Middle Harbour. Pretty big aero fleet comes out of Balmoral Sailing Club.
And that's what confused me, is that start boat there in the background. That's the old, I think, Wallara start boat. And they had a laser fleet, and I'm going, they've come a long way to set a course.
They've come down here for a bit of open water, and they've got a skiff race going through them.
Yeah, to get away from the skiffs, and then they all turn up here. The amount of coverage we're giving MGM signage, Ryan, you better up your sponsorship package, mate.
So MTM just soaking a little bit now to get down over the bow of Canberra. Canberra coming in a bit hotter. Here we go. They'll be dropping the chute here. What are we going to do, boys?
Jibe drop. Yep.
No pressure.
Yeah, nice one, Jerome.
Oh, Canberra's kite's not coming down. It's caught at about hound height, probably a knot in the halyard. It's down now. There, they got it now.
You think with the run of that length, you'd be able to get the halyard cleaned up, wouldn't you?
Next
Oh,
in.
and a run that long that you've got enough time to check the halyards haven't got a knot in them.
Yep.
Or more time to tie more knots. If you look at it the other way, Eric Storage, 3rd around.
So is it going to be rinse and repeat? Just head out to the left again? And
I think Shade to Water have got in front of TTR Civil here.
they have, definitely, yeah. TTR really dropped back that last third of the run.
Yeah, I mentioned before, Shade to Water jibed onto a nice puff when they were coming down on starboard, and then they've jibed back on that. And here they come in. Spinnaker shoot, jibe drop. Makes it a pretty easy manoeuvre usually. Nice work. So these 5, definitely a huge standout from the rest of the fleet now. Established a really handy separation from the rest of the fleet.
Imagine Signage probably going to be next, but he's still probably a good 30 seconds, 40 seconds away.
There's boats right up at the top mark still.
Yeah.
They'd be, 15 minutes off the pace?
They're not looking great for the handicap, let's just say.
Now, but I'll tell you, for the handicap, Rubicon is still just up here in, what do we got, 5, 6, still in the top 10.
Eric Storage has got to be all right on the handicap, I'd be thinking.
Yeah, Eric Storage and also MTM, actually.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting, I think Rivcon definitely at this stage where they are, but one of those other two. If Rivcon drop out of it, or if the breeze fades or something like that.
And that is Imagine signage going around the mark.
So the interesting thing is, if MTM did get the handicap and the scratch, how many times do you reckon it's been done when the double in 115 runnings?
What did you just cover up with your foot, Jack?
On my clipboard, I might have covered up the answer, but
I'll say once, Jack.
it's actually been done 8 times.
8 times.
8 times that the double has been taken out. Most recently by, I think, Ruffy back in then it would have been either Musto or Moonen, I can't remember.
Moon and Yachts.
Yeah. But long way to go before we start worrying about who's getting the double.
Absolutely. Let's get across the finish line first.
Darby Jones.
Just watching Ruffy take off on his private plane now from Sydney Airport.
Off to his island.
Just to his weekender.
Yeah, his little chalet. And there's the Rubicon that we're talking about. And they're definitely got to be there or thereabouts at the moment, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Well, the key thing is, it's with a long race, it's a big handicap adjustment. So as a percentage, handicaps are in play.
But look at the company that they're with and who they're in front of is pretty.
In front of
you take away from that as much as you want, but you'd be walking away pretty proud.
Absolutely, they're in front of the current Australian champion and the current state champion.
Yeah.
So
Great work, Jess Rivers. They're sailing well. They'll hang in there. They'll be there or abouts. Oh, real drift into that bottom mark now with a lot of boats lined up.
It's painful, isn't it?
And just starting to get a little bit dark and eerie here as this thunderstorm cloud is definitely starting to make its way overhead.
We're starting to see a little bit of effect of that with the breeze just sort of...
Certainly softening.
Yeah.
That was Coates just around, and that red spinnaker is Zoe Dransfield in Red Pumps Red. And there's geochemical assessments. They are a little bit, they're just over here, so they're coming in on port tack, but next around will be Barnabas Building, followed by Sutek
And Tugara. Geochemical, the Buckingham and Tribeca.
So they're all giving chase, but they're a long way. They're minutes off the pace right now. So
the other one, they've got Bartley Construction on screen at the moment, but the other one just behind them, off camera, that's could figure in the overall handicap is WGU Engineering from Belmont.
Yep.
Kimmy Baker.
They had one cracking race in the Nationals, I think, didn't they? They were up there.
It was the invitation race.
And they won it. They did indeed.
Well, scratch and handicap.
They won the double, that's right.
Well, I think they were the only boat that actually finished.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. Case of general recall on the invitation race.
That's right. No one went back.
Everyone decided, well, we're just going to practice anyway.
Yeah.
Kimmy did the right thing, came back with 5 other boats, and those other 5 didn't finish.
The chocolates.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fantastic.
It was great to see. It was well deserved and well earned.
Noakes.
In the background of them is Botany Access from Manly. So we'll slowly meander on up.
Yeah, and we'll try and give you as we go up course, we'll try and get a look at the 13s coming downhill for you. Let you all know what the state of play is there. But they also have a long way to go, but they only do one leg of the hot dog, don't they, Jack?
That's right.
That right?
They go straight from that top mark back to the finish.
Yeah,
effectively, if our race committee is shortening at Sandringham Point, so still a long leg back from that mark to the finish. So still plenty of racing to go, and a bit like that first leg, it can be quite tactical as to when to pull your chute off and when to go mains and jib.
Red Concrete from Manly.
James Spinnington.
And we'll just see who we can find a bit further up. That's the 4X Gold.
There's the Sun Tough shutters on screen.
Yeah.
One of our local St George sponsors.
And those three are just behind the fire stopping.
Can't quite make out who that is at the moment.
That Brian Hilton Motor Group on screen. One of our sort of arrangements of Hornsey Coringal Sailing Club through by Manly. The Stewarts, I think.
Yep, that's right.
So shortly we'll be picking up the leaders in the 16s. MTM still leads from Canberra Airport.
That's good to see Brian Hilton come along, because they're a long time rally car sponsor in Australia. So you know, for them to jump into sponsoring a sailing event, I think it's pretty cool to see.
And a little shout out to a young guy called Garth Bickford, who Jack and I know very well. At 10 a.m. this morning, he set out from Hunters Hill Sailing Club to do 24 hours non-stop and unassisted in an Ilka, a laser. And anyone out there who's sailed a laser even for a couple of hours will appreciate how painful 24 hours is going to be. So Garth's a young sailor who I've been fortunate enough to sail with, as is Jack. I was lucky enough last year to have Garth on board, and he won his first national championship, which was a great thing to share with him. But he's raising money for the Black Dog Institute, and that's a mental health charity, obviously, and he's going to be really challenging himself tonight, particularly late tonight. If this thunderstorm comes through, it'll be wet and cold and pretty miserable. So, but if you want to have a look at GoFundMe and look up Garth's biggest challenge, and you can afford to donate just a couple of bucks towards the cause, especially sailors supporting sailors, and us here at Sail Media, we're strong advocates for mental health with the Black Dog Institute, and of course Gotcha for Life. So please, if you can, look up Garth's biggest challenge and help out if you can, and we wish Garth best of luck in making it through to 10 a.m. tomorrow morning.
Yeah, absolutely. He's a great young bloke and a bloody good sailor, and it's an amazing challenge he set himself. And yeah, I know a lot of good support team behind him, and he's certainly got the courage and conviction to see it through. So if you can, please donate.
Who was the one who put the idea in his head to spend 24 hours in a laser?
I'm not sure. Got a fair idea where it was put into his head.
But this morning he and I were discussing, because like me, Garth also sails in the VX1s, and we were discussing this morning it might have been a better idea to cross Bass Strait in a VX1.
Well,
that might be next.
I was going to say, it's funny you mentioned that, Noel. He mentioned to me on Wednesday night that the next challenge is he's going to have a crack at Michael Blackburn's record.
Bass Strait crossing.
Bass Strait, yeah, to do it quicker. Not just do it, but do it quicker.
Yeah.
Some guys did that back in the day, Dole, in the B14s.
You're one of my B14s?
Yeah. I remember that.
They did it in support of the Tasmanian Devils. So
that's right. I remember it was something odd.
But back to the 16 action. And Canberra Airport has just tacked back towards MTM, so a little cross coming up, folks. And MTM still leads.
Really? Yeah. I was actually, Canberra were just starting to take a bit of time out of them when they were both on port there, so interesting to see what happens here now that they've split. MTM don't look like in any hurry to tack back, so.
So we're just coming up to the 13-foot skiffs here. So that's Taylor Lees in the Kitchen Maker. I would have her currently in second place, I think. Looks like Red Pumps Manly still lead. Gemma Hopkins with Harvey Windust. Yeah, so Red Pump's leading. The Kitchen Maker probably in second. I think that's probably Botany Scaffold.
Botany Access. I think we worked that out. I called it from too far away.
Botany Access,
it is too, yeah.
Jack eats better carrots than me.
The Bigfoot is in the mix, as is Buck and Simple. So Red Pump's in the lead, Kitchen Maker second, and then very tight, probably Bigfoot, Botany leading Buck and Simple with Modern Concept Constructions.
And what's that, Cadence & Co?
It is, yep.
The red gloves suggest to me that on the bow of that Kitchen Maker boat might be one Ash Napper.
Ah, there you go.
I don't remember seeing that change of crew come through.
So maybe Ash crewing for Taylor.
There's the Bigfoot with one of the best spinnakers in 13-foot skiffs, I think.
Yeah.
Message from Scott Cotton saying he's never going to live this down. He's got off the boat and they're winning the Botany Bay Championship. Scotty, I know you're a bit of a light air specialist too, and if you were here, I'm sure the boys would be doing equally as well with you on board.
Well, potentially they wouldn't have given up the lead, maybe.
Well, yes, you'd probably still be winning, Scotty, so yeah, hang in there, buddy.
There's a very casual way to
We've got the Botany scaffold there.
go on the way downhill.
Nice armchair ride, you could say.
Just chilling.
Shout out to Justin Brownbill, the sponsor of Botany Scaffold and Botany Access. Big supporter of the juniors and the skiff movement.
So that's Levi Windust on the helm there, just having a little bit of a relax. He's a bit of a chiller, so I'm not surprised. So Jack, they've jibed back, they're heading back straight to towards the finish.
Correct, yeah. So basically most of the fleet now, the 13s, are pointing at the finish directly. So, like I said, it's just going to get when it tightens up when they get back into the river a bit. How long do they carry their kite for, or what's quickest?
And look, real testament to how good these kids are sailing is how close this racing is. You know, they've been racing for quite a long time, and we've got 2, 4, 6, 8, nearly 10 boats, all within throw a rug over them almost. So very, very, very close. Great racing, the 13s today. There's MTM, our 16-foot skiff leader at the moment. Just flash past our screen. Modern Concept Constructions, 13.
Meg Bates.
Meg Bates with Joe Corbell.
Yep.
Another company that sponsors multiple boats, but Modern Concept Constructions, Chris Williams and Chrissy Williams. So we thank you very much for your support of sailing.
Like always, if you do want to get involved and feel there's a good bit of brand exposure for your business or and support the junior sailing, please get in touch with either Manly or St George Sailing Clubs. Manly 16-foot Skiff Sailing Club or St George 16-foot Skiff Sailing Club.
Or Jack Andrew Management.
There's a sponsor that came to Manly last year, which is Cadence & Co., which is great to have them on board as a new sponsor. They're a local building company. Or when I say local, they're not quite the smallest company in the world. They are quite a large company.
Big organisation.
And, do quality, high-end stuff, so good to have them on board.
Gee, it's really tightening up in the 13s here. The fleet's compressed considerably. Red Pump's still out in front with a slight advantage, but I'm looking at Botany really bringing some breeze down to them.
And there's our sponsors and life members and directors all on there enjoying their day.
Giving us a wave, nice.
Good to see. So I think they're making their way slowly back to where the shortened course is going to end up.
And the better weather.
We're just going to, unfortunately, have to say goodbye to the 13s from here because we'll stay with the 16s, but we'll show you the last little couple tail end Charlies of the 13s that are coming through.
Still advantage MTM. MTM signage has probably put a little bit more distance onto Canberra Airport in the last little exchange. MTM decided to get a little bit to the right of Canberra Airport and just picked up a little bit of pressure that's coming in off this. Is this a tower ashore up here, is it, Jack?
Well, there's the Kurnell, but heading up towards the Kurnell shore anyway. On screen, we have, I'm not sure what boat that is. It could be Sail Media. Viewers at home wouldn't have seen it, but we had a boat driver vigorously pointing at the monitors.
Shameless plug.
Oh, you've got to take it where you can. Like Ella and Holly, they're only new this year into it, so good to see that they're getting into it.
And they've come a long way, Jimmy, haven't they?
They have, mate.
At the start of the season, they were really battling, and they've come good. And there's the Ferguson's Marina, where I spend quite a bit of time. Shout out to Tacker, and thank you for supporting another 13-foot skiff. We've got Isabella Primrose and Hugo.
With the Nationals on from the 3rd to the 9th.
Next season?
Next year in January.
Yep. At Middle Harbour Ski Club.
Yep. At Middle Harbour Ski Club. Ferguson Marina is potentially could have some vacancies there or temporary berthing, so get in touch with them. Tell them Dolly sent you and they'll charge you double.
That's it. Yep. And I'll keep an eye on your boat for you.
There's a promo code of Dolly10. It's not a discount, it's just an extra 10%.
Tacker and the team there, they'll look after you, same at Middle Harbour Yacht Club, so get in early because I know spaces are very limited
at that time of year.
At that time of year, and all else fails, you got Dowbora on the other side, so get over to Dion when you're there. and Dion will always look after you. Kill you with kindness, Dion.
Yep.
It's Dion Hart we were referring to, ex-16-foot skiff sailor, now the marina manager over there.
So just to the left of that shot there, there we go, just that white spinnaker. It's actually the boat Ebix. It's a long time been sailing out of Manly. Today we've got a couple of our MG14 sailors from St George taking up the challenge, and so to Ruby Smith and Kai Hasty. Well done, guys. Yeah. And hopefully, next year, see them full time in a 13.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
How old are they, Jack?
Ruby, I believe she's 16 or 17.
Oh, good. So young ones.
Yeah. And good young skipper. She's actually come through a bit of a pathway we've formed with Connells Point Sailing Club. And, they've been a great relationship between the two clubs. And she's come through, jumped into an MG, and one of the MG owners said, well, you steer, you look like you're a better skipper than me. And she's, I think she's leading the club championship at the moment in the MGs at St George. So
that's what you said to Greg Junk, wasn't it, about your boat?
Oh yeah, I got a good young up and coming sailor like Greg Junk, and offered him a ride, and I think he's been grateful.
Just got a message through from Chris Williams that's watching live online, and he said there's no Modern Concept Constructions 16 down here today due to an internal rule of a 10-knot wind limit. So
minimum 10 knots, that is?
I think it would be. I don't think Chris would be the sort of guy that'd have his hands up to be sailing in under 10 knots, that's for sure. I don't blame you, Chris.
Well, Chris, I'm sure you're watching from the gym while you do your Saturday afternoon workout.
Yeah, your old lounge room, dog.
With a couple of protein shakes.
Yeah. So just in the background there, MTM signage still leading. Canberra Airport still in second.
And they've really stepped out, haven't they, Jack?
The first two, just going to say, are probably a good minute and a half at least in front of third.
Easily, yeah. But, MTM have managed to put a little bit of distance on Canberra Airport in the last sort of 10 or 15 minutes, and the two of them have moved away from the chasing pack.
That pack behind them, Dolly and Jack, is really compressed up.
It has, yep.
Yeah, well, Bosca's jumped into that pack now, though they're right up there with Eric's and the TTRs and what have you.
Well, it looks like Bosca has probably passed Imagine Signage.
Yeah.
But you look where Eric's...
Well, here they are, just to the left of screen.
There's Eric's storage on right of screen now. You know, they were right in the mix with MTM and Canberra Airport, and they're now, 500 metres behind.
Yeah.
Yeah. Probably still in third place, mind you, but they've given away a lot of distance. Looks like Shade to Water still hanging in behind them, and TTR. But yeah, it looks like Bosca and Barnabas Building and Sutek have made some gains on that chasing pack. But smart sailing up here from MTM. They're just keeping Canberra Airport tucked away.
Well, I don't think you can discount Tommy Dawson on the back of MTM, having grown up with a fair bit of lake sailing. And, these conditions would be well suited.
What have we got there?
Magic Marine from, I'm not sure whether... Number 42. We've been given sorry for the viewers at home, we've been given a call sheet of list of boats without sale numbers for the 13s, which makes it exceptionally hard, but...
So we're just relying on strange logos and...
Yeah, especially, and potentially some boats who haven't actually entered.
So, and off the back of that, we apologise to the team there on boat number 42, albeit if it is boat number 42.
That's what it says on the sail, but yeah. But there we are. That's MTM to windward of Canberra Airport. So MTM a little bit of a gain there. They've probably maybe a 20-second gain that they've made in the last 15 minutes.
So both boats tacking on lay.
So final approach now for MTM, and we are going to be heading from here down to the finish. So originally we were going to be doing another hot dog, were we, Jack? Is that right? Or we're going to loop down and
no, we're dropping all the loop down in the bay, in the river. Sorry, the bay. I'll get it right one year when I come down here, Jack.
So here we go, Tommy Dawson, and as you just mentioned, Jack, Tom, I've watched Tommy come through all the junior and youth classes, and he's not only a very talented sailor, he's a really good young bloke.
Yeah.
And he's worked hard to get where he is. He's been yacht sailing and doing all sorts of different stuff.
It's been a great program that these guys have put together. They sail down here at St George every Saturday, and most Sundays they sail up at Belmont. So certainly putting the hours in.
They put in a big effort this season. Yeah,
it's the only way you're going to get better.
Next around, Archie Cropley, Canberra Airport. So probably about 20-second gap we had just then.
God, these guys put us to shame how good they set the spinnakers.
Look, I think you're underselling yourself there, Jimmy. I think the modern technology, the modern ropes and blocks are so much better than what we had. You know, like the hemp ropes and the stuff like that.
The hemp ropes.
And the belaying pins we had to use to get them up.
Yeah, I remember then.
the snubbing winches and...
Yeah. If anyone wants to experience that sort of thing, get in touch with Rolf at sydneyflyingsquadron.com.au and ask to go for a ride on one of the vintage 18-foot skiffs. It'll turn your head of how they used to do it. And I'll tell you what, it is good fun. Like Dolly and myself, we've done it quite a bit. We've competed in the Aussie titles in them. Always a good laugh, good fun, and to see how they used to do it to how they do it today. A few guys probably need to take that lesson regardless. To know where you're going, you need to know where you came from.
So CTA you're seeing there, they're probably in about 5th place. So Eric Storage in 3rd, probably Shade to Order, Imagine Signage, and the big mover has been Bosca, has come through the pack.
Yeah, Bosca's potentially up there to 5th in there, so, or she, I should say.
There's Red Pumps Red, Zoe Dransfield, still in that sort of the next group down, back behind Barnabas Building, Coates, and Off the Map. But
the one I haven't seen is Rivcon. Where did they end up?
There they are.
Just behind.
Yep. Okay,
so they have given away a bit of ground, but they are still hanging in there.
Still probably in 10th or 11th.
Yep.
The one that looks like had a bit of a move up the fleet has been Tagara, which we haven't got them on screen at the moment, but they're over near the
on the airport side.
And they were pretty deep.
They got a fill-in skipper of Ryan Ewings today.
I believe someone else is getting married today.
Well, he got married yesterday.
Yes.
I'm not sure why he's not sailing today, but I think it just shows a lack of commitment, really, doesn't it?
Always been a lack of commitment from Tommy.
Shout out to Tommy, congratulations, mate.
Ryan, another very good young sailor of very good bloodlines.
Extremely good bloodlines, yeah.
I saw Mum and Dad, Gil and Mandy are out here on a rib watching.
And a dubious mentor in David Witt.
Yes, dubious indeed. Been given a lot of good opportunities, Ryan. Part of the Scallywag team.
An integral part of the team, yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah.
That's a pretty big responsibility for a young guy, and Whitty's trusted him in it. So.
Yeah, but I've been on the boat and sailed with them, and he does a fantastic job. But he's still jumping on the skiffs. He's currently on the the Rag and Famish 18-footer as well on a Sunday. Well, it's getting a little bit soft as we're moving down here. Some real puffs coming through, but there's some big gaps in the breeze. There's Canberra, and you're about to see MTM will come into shot. They've just jibed back onto starboard. So there's a little vein of pressure. They've tried to jibe on that so that they can get down the bay a bit more. Be interesting to see what Canberra decide to do here. While they've got some pressure, this left-hand side, you're hiding out of the tide a bit, aren't you, Jack?
You are. I was about to say that with the tide, you know, we're probably, what have we got, another hour and a half of run left in it to low tide. This is where the real sort of issue could be of boats trying to get out of the tide and running aground.
Aground or out of breeze, yeah.
Yeah, aground more so. And I think that's why MTM might have jibed out.
That was my next question of where Canberra Airport's going. They're jibing
they're
now.
Jibing now.
Yeah.
It always used to make me nervous coming down this side.
It's funny, like, I brought my old man's boat down through here yesterday and I actually thought, geez, I'm in a bit close, and I thought I'd have no issue sailing the skiff in here. And the skiff draw.
What's your old man's boat draw?
It's called the Bojangles. It's around here somewhere, getting in the way probably.
Did you check
Right
your front
there.
pots while you were
Right
here?
on cue, is it?
No,
No, that's stretch.
So MTM decided to put in another jibe. So as I say, I suspect they're trying to just keep out of the channel and out of the tide here a little bit.
And just to give the viewers an idea where the camera boat is at the moment, we've got a 0.9 sounding off the chart here at lowest astronomical tide. So
Is that under the keel, Jimmy, or from the surface?
that's just off the chart.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Off the bottom of the boat, 2.8 at the moment.
So still a little bit of tide, but these skiffs would be drawing at the moment about 1.4, 1.5. So, you know.
Well, the sound is saying 2.8, so... But yeah, as you get over towards the point where MTM are heading now, I know it gets pretty shallow over there. Been there, done that.
Tick that box.
The general rule down here is you keep going till you hit, then you jibe. Just got to make sure you're not going too quick when you hit.
Yeah, great, Jack. Great advice for the young blokes. Keep going until you run aground and turn around and go the other way.
Probably a better strategy upwind than down.
Yep.
But, look, it pays to get out the tide, especially in this lighter conditions.
Most definitely, and they're trying to do that. And MTM's a local boat, so they should know their way around to some extent. And they've hooked onto a nice little left-hander now. They're sneaking away, getting some depth.
Well, in club racing, this is probably about as far out into the bay that they come, right, Jack? So,
correct, yeah.
Yeah, like, there's a hell of a lot more of this bay that these boats have been to today that they don't normally go to. So, you know, it's this is where the local knowledge does come into it for MTM and Canberra Airport. You know, they're just clearing their centreboard right now on screen. They feel they might have picked up something.
Yeah, they cleaned their rudder as well a short time ago, so might be a little bit of weed around.
MTM doing their best. There they are on shot now. They're just trying to soak down. They're doing their best to not have to jibe here. A jibe out of there will be really horrible. They're down pressure. They're probably starting to get a little bit shallow, and they're just trying to soak down and get their bow down, pointing towards where they need to be.
Yeah,
they see the weed beds in that overhead shot from the drone.
Yeah,
they've got to go now. There's a little bit of breeze there, so they've just waited till they got some pressure.
I dare say it won't be a long jibe. They'll be back pretty quick.
Oh, that jibe out hurts, so doesn't it?
You're going with the tide, away from your finish.
Yeah.
Everything you're taught not to do.
But
running
Dolly said,
running aground's not the other option.
Meanwhile, Canberra
ideal.
getting good depth on a little bit of vein of pressure here. But the boys are crouching in. They're just trying to get as much VMG running as they can here and try and get through on the line of MTM.
You know, if they can get their bow under the tide and just pushes them out into the middle a little bit, they can There's big gains to be made. I'm actually quite surprised how far MTM's. They still haven't jive back. Yeah.
Here they go. Yeah, Canberra really trying to soak down now. Max Paul in the boat. Jack Hildebrand crouching on the gunnel. They're just trying to milk every bit of the breeze that they can here, and they've done it really well, I've got to say.
Amazing job, actually, yeah.
There's your two boats on screen there. Split screen for you. Now, if Canberra manage to, when they get clear of this point, if the breeze fills in a little bit, they're going to be in a really good position here. They've really evened up the game.
So MTM have got two strings at the moment, have they?
Justish.
Yeah. Canberra still with only one on the wire, with one in the middle of the boat.
Looking nervous though on Canberra, aren't they?
I think that's something they had to try at this stage of the race. They've only got another mile to go to the finish. And, they're still not out of it here.
No, they're soaking down nicely. They're not as quick, but they're soaking down nicely. And as you said, Jack, they've got their foils across the tide now, so that's sort of giving them depth as well.
MTM is hanging on for dear life, two on the wire, trying their hardest to get height. I think they've realised they've gone just that wee bit too far. The tide's affecting them.
Very soft on Canberra now, though.
Yeah. So as you get up here in the river, it's a bit of a U shape of the river between Woolooware Bay around the Towra sort of beach area back up into Kurnell, and so you end up with a breeze coming from both directions at either end. So it normally would get tighter as we go in here.
Yes, and I can see that happening, Jack, and I'm looking forward. There's a little bit of pressure building, and they will be bow down, so... now
MTM's
they're just
parked in some powerboat wash.
Didn't help them. And just a little bit of pressure filling in on Canberra now, so it's working well for them, but gee, that's a struggle to get through this patchy air, pushing the tide, pushing the current.
I'd say at the moment MTM's got better boat speed, but Canberra's probably in a better position when that breeze swings.
Oh, it's all to play for, and they had to do something different to give it a crack. They weren't going to pass. They've been very evenly matched on boat speed, and I don't think Canberra were going to get through MTM by just following them. They were about 50 metres behind, and just that margin was just staying the same.
So here we go. Canberra they've got 1.5 on the wire now. There we go. They got their 2. And this is where it starts to get real interesting. If it does swing well forward, it's then a matter of the timing of when you drop your kite to go mainland jib to get to the finish.
But with it getting tighter and Canberra being further stepped up to windward, it'll work in their favour. They'll compress down to MTM while going a little bit quicker. Now they're really pushing for height now, so they're struggling to get up. There's a red pylon coming up, which you'll see shortly, that they have to stay above, or below, sorry.
It doesn't. I don't think that one applies to them.
It's not a mark of the course.
It's not a mark of the course. This one. No.
It's just navigational
aid. Navigational aid.
Yeah. Sometimes you use them, sometimes you don't.
Yeah, the guidelines.
Yeah. Everyone loves some guidelines.
Oh, Canberra just... We're on MTM. MTM just trying to push up as is Canberra. And at times here they're pushing for so much height they're really struggling to keep the kite from folding.
Yeah, right on the limit, aren't they?
This could literally come down to one puff down towards the finish.
As it has so many times in this race. It can be heartbreaking. You lead the race all day for 2 hours and then lose it in the last 100 metres.
Don't remind me of it, Jack.
Which year was that, Jimmy? 92, 93?
No, it was back in the 2000s.
you have to set your mind back to last year. The same sort of thing happened. I think it was the Moonin with Harry Price steering. Managed to sort of get past the Bosco right near the finish.
The interesting thing too is there was no shortened course flag at the last mark, so they're just finishing them here. They just fire it up and then...
Yeah, that's right. They don't have to give the warning, but and these guys probably aren't expecting the finish here.
Yeah. No. Yeah, you can just shorten that a mark of the course.
Yeah. So at the moment, MTM actually looks in a reasonable position there. I think, I think all things being equal, anything can happen, of course, but...
Yeah, Canberra just having a bit of a challenge. They've got a 13 above them and a big power boat, not doing them any favours going through to leeward. They're just trying to I think they're trying to get over this 13, but I don't think it's going to happen. Oh, they're going to give it a crack.
Give it a go, yeah.
Archie just gave him a little wave saying, do you mind? And
yeah, coming through.
Number 29, just obliged.
See, that's what I was talking about, the older people in the class looking after the 13s nicely, telling them where they should go.
There's been a lot more collaboration between the two fleets in the last few years, which is great. More mentoring, which is good.
It works on so many levels, but as the kids come into the 16s, they've already got they know half to 3/4 of the fleet already, so that's the beauty of the two classes working together.
Healthy respect. So yeah, MTM's managed to come around the bow of Canberra Airport now.
So these guys will have seen the 13s up here finishing and potentially might have tipped them off.
Yeah, but how many of them have read the 13 side of it?
Probably just alluding more to the shortened course. They might have, so...
Regardless of the result, really, really well sailed by these two boats today. They've been the standouts, and when they got their opportunity to jump, they've really stepped away from the rest of the field. But as we get down closer to this next mark and the finish, it's looking very, very patchy. So, as we mentioned before, it's sort of one of those anything could happen down here situations.
Well, it certainly can, Dol, especially as we get further down here. We start to get a bit more influence of the shallows below these boats, so to the sort of west. So they're going to be pressed here, carrying their kites right on their rear, and they're walking a bit of a tightrope of the
and every big
shallows.
Jellyfish feels like the bottom. So you just found the bottom.
Now you get right up in the shallows there, and you go, "Well, we need to drop this kite." We can't.
Speaking of the shallows, mate, I reckon the Ebix 13 there has got a lot of water under the keel, would they?
Where they are, yes. You can't see it on screen viewers, but yeah, basically probably 10 foot to leeward of them, no.
No, okay. They're right on the edge of the channel.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, now it's getting light. Light and tricky.
There's Ebix that you're talking about, Jack.
Yeah, so you can see the flats to leeward of them there.
So you're not getting your toes too wet.
So yeah, Ruby and Kai, they're local, like I said earlier, local sailors. So they should know where they can go here.
Now, was this going to be a port rounding this mark originally?
Originally, this was going to be a port rounding.
Okay.
Yes. So
right. So we are on the right side.
We're on the correct side. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you think with
Hugh Lester,
Brad Andrew on board.
Yep.
Madge on board.
Yep. And we've also got Leanne Narborough, another qualified race officer as well. So we got
That they know what's
plenty of experience there.
plenty
Peter
of
Edwards
experience.
as well. So Peter Edwards, who actually drives our start boat, is Bryce Edwards' father, who's on the MTM.
Oh, yep.
So,
well, I know Brad Andrews a lot smarter than his brother, so
that's almost an insult to him. It's a low bar you'd set him.
Here we go. Coming in hot now. They've just picked up a nice little puff, the MTM signage. Not too far to go now. They're on a really good lane to the finish here. They're laying through nicely, good pressure.
This is such good news for the St George Sailing Club.
Oh, it's a great, yeah.
A home win.
The MTM signage taking out the 116th Botany Bay Championship.
Will they be the second St George boat to win the Botany Bay Championship since Dennis Tanko won in '93? I think it was. So the other one was actually Nathan Wilmot sailing a St George boat.
So there you have it.
The start boat wasn't at all happy, so loudest cheer of the day from the start boat. So congratulations to them.
Yeah, well done, Tommy Dawson and Bryce Edwards and Jerome Watts.
They've just been summoned over towards the Pat Collis rescue boat to collect the winner's ribbon.
The winner's ribbon,
well,
which hopefully they'll hoist proudly up to the top of the mast and sail in with it.
Here we go, Canberra Airport. In for a very well-deserved second. Archie Cropley, Max Paul and Jack Hildebrand.
Dropping their kite early. I'm not sure if they realised it was a shorten.
Well, MTM did the same, actually. But
so there we go.
I don't think they still realise that they've finished.
I think they might have.
Now they've got to knock
realised
the halyard. Now they've got to knock the halyard. They'll be panicking.
There you go. Here comes the presentation of the ribbon. We'll go get over there and.
You're done. Yeah, the boys didn't realise it was a shortened course, but we've just let them know. They're pretty happy, the boys.
Oh, it's a great race. Like that, like neck and neck with Canberra Airport all day. Like there was probably a length of a spinnaker sheet between them the whole time.
You know, great sailing from both the teams on MTM signage and Canberra Airport.
Good sportsmanship there from the guys on Canberra Airport that went over to.
There they go. They've hoisted the ribbon. Is it going to fly? No, they've got it tangled, have they? And once you pull it up, there's no getting it down.
Oh, there we go.
Well done. That's our winners.
Yeah, they're even well adverse to that. They know how to do that. So.
Congratulations to the lads. Nice shot. See the champion's ribbon flying off the spinnaker halyard. I can tell you just off screen, not quite there yet, little way to go yet, but we've got Eric Storage coming in for a well-deserved third after being there and abouts all day. Led this race for quite a while.
Unfortunately, their ribbon is stuck to the sail. There it is.
Freed up.
It just keeps getting in the lee of the mainsail, unfortunately.
Back in the day, the ribbons didn't have the big-headed mainsails to overcome the wind shadow.
Here comes the battle for the minor placings.
And that looks to me like, is that Bosca in fourth there? Like coming in hot, or is that? Wow, big gain to them on that last leg.
Yeah.
So Eric Storage, they would be over the moon with that result.
Yeah, third place. They led for a long time.
Leading from the start.
Yeah.
Scott Cotton finally got off the centreboard, acting like a keel for him, and let him go. And there's Boscabild coming home for fourth.
Big gains to them in that last lap. They were really, really deep. So well done to Sarah Curtin Keegs.
And there's Imagine signage coming across the line. Not probably the day that Nathan and the team there were expecting, but yeah,
not the regular crew on there too.
Well,
so.
And most of the season hasn't been the regular crew, so it makes it very difficult to get in the groove of things when you haven't got a regular crew each week.
Yeah, well, the guys who had on board were still good, but yeah, it just makes it hard to gel, doesn't it? But it's really for them. It was just that one sort of early tack out of the bottom mark on the first.
Cost them.
Yeah,
big
they
time.
went hard right and just never recovered, unfortunately.
We did say don't go out there, didn't we, Jeff? Jeepers.
Plain as day, wasn't it?
Yeah.
He's shade to order after mixing it up in the top three. Lost their way, I guess, up one of those works.
Yeah, no, they really don't. Talking to the boys, they really don't like these conditions. So, they'd be pretty happy with that. Tommy Burton, Scotty Beebe, and Joel Skelton.
So they'd be in the Chris Williams camp of rules. Is that what you're saying, Dol?
Something like that. Yeah. That's it. They turned up.
Yeah.
So well done to the boys. They sailed well all day.
And a great race by these guys, TTR Civil. I don't know what's happened to them since just before the Nationals, but they've really come to life, and good to see good seasoned campaigners, especially in Rich and Phil.
Yeah.
Phil Bauer's been in 16-foot skiffs for a long time, hasn't he?
Well, literally since the early 90s.
Yeah.
So I started flying outs against Phil in the early 90s, and he jumped in a couple of years before me, and he's been around a long time. I don't think he's missed a season in that time either.
Yeah, good campaigner.
Oh, maybe when he did his mini Transat.
Oh, yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Here's the Coates.
Darby Jones with Gilzo and Taj. Good day for them too. They hung in there all day. Good of them to come down from Belmont.
And next to get across the line will be Amy Barnabas Build. And, just that difference between that missing that top mark that first time up into Woolaware Bay, or was that, did I call it the right place, Jack?
You did.
Look at me, go. And having to go back around and find a hole to get in there to be able to tack bear away, and by that stage the horse is bolted, and
Yeah.
I know they're a fit bunch of guys, but there's no chasing that horse after that.
It is so tough, especially when you've got a reach sort of leg afterwards where there's not a lot of passing lanes. You saw that with them, but also Red Pumps Red, same sort of thing with Zoe.
Yeah,
she missed out the top mark.
A little bit underlaid. They had to jibe out of there, and Barnabas Building also got caught out by who was doing a penalty turn. Someone hit the mark and then was doing a penalty turn, and Barnabas Building got caught above them as well. So
Was it Eric's storage from him?
No, I don't think it wasn't Eric's. It was someone else. But anyway, it was too long ago for me to remember, Jimmy. I'm like a goldfish.
Yep. Hey, look at Castle.
Next in, we've got the Sutec boys. Good work from Mikey, Josh, and James. Always having fun, win, lose or draw. Off the map. Good race from them too.
Yep. Once again, thrown together a combination with Marshall Day, Phil Marshall, and Alana Clancy.
Yep.
I don't think those three have ever sailed together before.
On anything, no.
So,
Marshall, very talented young up-and-coming skipper. Phil Marshall, obviously a very good crew, and Alana Clancy, one of the best girls I've seen sailing a skiff in my time.
is Rivcon. Well, yeah, Alana and back in the day, Sky McFadden sailing the 13-foot skiff together. There was some bloke who apparently could help you get a gold medal, or teach you how to get a gold medal. Probably known better as a medal maker. He was very much so chasing after both of them as a combination.
To get them into an Olympic class,
getting them into an Olympic class, and at that stage, both the girls were studying hard at uni and so forth to chase their careers, but they that never came to. But as you said, Dole, two of the definitely better of the young female sailors back in the day that were very much so chased after by the likes of Victor Kovalenko.
Yeah, and just behind them was Rivcon. Jess Rivers, another great female helm, sailing with brother Kai and Jacob.
And then Buckingham on screen with Georgia Clancy.
That's it.
So Alana's sister. Followed by Tagara with Ryan Ewings.
They're over.
That's who was doing the penalty turn. It's geochemical.
Geochemical, that's
Geo,
right,
yep.
it was too.
Come to me eventually.
I think Zoe would be disappointed. Obviously, that we spoke about that top mark, but these sort of day, I actually thought, she was a real good shot at it.
Yeah, well, and they went out in very similar conditions yesterday afternoon to what today threw up, and so still get a wave off Nath to say thank you. It's always one of the
good guys.
The good guys, and win, lose or draw, as you just seen then. Always high five each other. They're a team of good mates, and when you get to do this sport with your mates, it's a pretty special thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
When you get to do any sport with your mates, it's a pretty special thing.
Noakes will be next in.
Amy Mulkerns.
Another St George boat.
Yep.
Another St George boat, another female skipper. I think you've got more female skippers at St George than males.
We do, right? I think it's 8 out of the 14 boats is skippered by females at St George.
And Noakes sponsoring both a 16 and a 13 down here, so good on the mighty team at Noakes. Headed up by Sean Langman, very good friend of Sail Media's.
There they go, they're over. And then we will have next in, we'll have Dan Bromelo in Bartley Construction.
Well, there's at the Tribeca after that.
What's the story with the Tribeca? Does Junior still own that thing, or?
Yeah, James Turner still owns it. He's actually in town this weekend, but he's went to Tommy Cloud's wedding yesterday, and then his sister's wedding today down at Barrel. So shout out to the Turners. Hope they're having a great day. Today we've got Beck Hancock steering the Tribeca.
Right, and Beck, regular skipper on the Ballard Properties 18-foot skiff, and tomorrow's race for the 18-footers is brought to you by Ballard Properties. There we go. So I did a little bit of homework this week.
Preemptive plug.
Yes. Well, you got to, Jack. We're trying to get to the, over the 10,000 viewers on the 18s, and we've got the JJs coming up in 2 weeks. So feel free to tune into 18-footers TV on YouTube, and
I'll be tuned in every day apart from Big Wednesday.
I know that because we'll be seeing you walk past us on the dock. But guys, thank you very, very much for your input today and coming along, and for doing your homework there, Jack, and knowing strategically where to place your foot before you're asked which question onto your notepad on the floor.
Questions without notice.
Yes. Had I been smarter when you left it on the boat and left the boat earlier, I should have had a look. Dolly, thank you as always. Thanks for coming down here to St George, Dole. I know you had a lot on this morning with assisting Garth Bickford. Don't forget to go along and go fund me page. What was it?
Garth's biggest challenge.
Go suss that out. And
Thank you.
that place there on the screen is where we're just about to head. So thank you very much to all the team back here. We've got Piers, Dylan, Chits, and young Mitch back in helping again today. You guys have been awesome. We did our best we could under the circumstances with aeroplanes, people splitting from one side of Botany Bay to the other, and lack of being able to put a drone up out in the bay. But this has been a Sail Media production for the St George Sailing Club. Thank you and good evening.
Good afternoon.
Thank you.